Bhayshul. Like Bay, Shul.
Bhayshul Tuten.
Bhayshul Tuten.
Bhayshul Tuten. Okay, Bhayshul Tuten from Virginia Tech. I know we have a lot of Virginia people in the chat, so where are my Virginia people at? What's good? Okay, so Tuten, fastest guy. I'm going to say fastest guy at the combine. I ran a 4.3, 240, fast as heck. So just an explosive playmaker. Talk about the Gibbs and Demont aspect of things. He's more of like the Gibbs element to it. You know, fast. He can do a lot of things. 4.32 we're talking about. That's good speed. Yes, Asha. Wow, 4.3. Well-built guy, stout. We're talking about 5'8", 212, this guy. I mean, that's no joke. Okay, well, I guess his measurables here, they have him at, 5'9", 206. Okay, well, I've seen different ones where they have him at 5'8", 212. I mean, pretty much, this is like with 5'9", 212. I mean, 5'9", 206. I mean, it's a stout, that's a well-built guy. Now, we'll talk about his pass blocking in a second here, which is, but yeah, you want playmaking, you want game-breaking kind of speed, you want game-breaking kind of runs, which you haven't had in a while. This is kind of the guy you go with. We talked about some of his negatives a couple weeks ago, but fumbling, he got a little bit of the fumbleitis. He's an aggressive pass blocker, but that's something he needs. He's kind of shaky with it. Again, talk about scrappiness. He's a willingness to do it. And those are two things that kind of go for him as far as when we talk about his pass blocking. Scrappy guy, when you're 5'9", 206, balling out with a bunch of 6'5", big dudes out there, you kind of have that little scrappy element. You can set a block, but as far as fine-tuning the technique, he's going to have to fine-tune the technique there. So that's kind of the thing with him. Also, receiving ability, you don't have to worry about that. We're talking about a running back who can catch a ball in the backfield. This guy is like perfect to be an Andy Reid running back, just based on the screen game. Virginia Tech loved running screens with him, just getting the ball in his hands in space. So that's like ideal for him. It's very Brian Westbrook-y. So that Andy's going to love to do that kind of stuff with him. So that, in that respect, I love it for him. There's some things that I'm kind of nervous with. The fumbleitis is not a good thing to have. And also too, just, I don't know. What are your thoughts here with Bhayshul Tuten?
So the cool stats were 2023. He forced missed tackles at a 0.39%, which is almost 40% of his runs he forced to miss tackle, which was awesome. And this last year, 0.31. So in the last 2 years, he forced missed tackles 30% and 40% of his runs. Very good cutback and wiggle, explosive. I mean, you talk about a guy who helped himself maybe the most of any running backs. It might be him. A 4.32 is just insane. So for teams that maybe he was going 5th or 6th, probably 5th. Now you're talking about, if you want speed and a guy who has wiggle, maybe 3rd, right? Vision can be hot or cold. He does have a screen game, but not a lot of overall receiving action. They didn't really get him to do a lot of things in the receiving world. It was mostly just kind of swings or screen passes. Does fumble a lot. Better for outside zone schemes. Doesn't always see the gaps in man schemes and tends to run into his blockers. And the craziest thing I saw on Twitter recently, 0 runs from under center in the last 2 years at Tech. So take that for, what you will. So again, you run a certain scheme and you want that certain skill set, he could go very high. If those teams already have running backs in their systems, he could fall a lot. So, interesting nuggets.
That's crazy that he hasn't run behind. He hasn't been under center. He hasn't taken a snap from under center.
2 years of Tech.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, we are a team that doesn't really like to get under center that often, to be quite honest with you.
No, it's true. It's true.
So it's not like that really hurts us. And as far as he seems like a 3rd down back if he gets pass blocking down. But here's the thing with him. It's like, I've seen some of these player comps, right? And what player comps did you have for him? For Tuten? So I saw 2, and I think they're hilarious.
Thomas Rawls.
Really? Okay.
Thomas Rawls, and then Lance Zierlein has Isaiah Pacheco.
Interesting. I wouldn't have guessed that at all. I saw two. I saw Chase Brown and I saw Darwin Thompson are the two ones I saw. Darwin Thompson's hilarious because that's, if any Chief fans remembers the Darwin Thompson days, everyone thought he was going to be the guy and wasn't the guy in the end. But Chase Brown, that's interesting. I mean, Bengals utilized the crap out of him last year. He looked great. And it was like, well, why couldn't we get a guy like Chase Brown? Some stats here that I have on some of the negatives on this guy here. So the fumbling, alarming second contact, ball security with 8 fumbles in the last 2 seasons. That's a lot. Can be feast or famine runner who was inefficient with 43% third down conversion rate in the last 2 seasons. So not converting a lot as a third down runner. But and kind of mixed reviews. Gray as far as a screen game guy, but as far as doing anything else out the backfield as far as pass catching, that's a little problem there with him.
Not a lot. They didn't have him do it,
which is fine. And he's going to utilize his running backs in screen game, so that doesn't really bother me. And he'll figure that whole thing out. Although CH was a bit of a pass catcher coming out of LSU, and then when he came to the NFL, it's almost like we forgot to utilize his passing game or the receiving game with him, which that made me very scared, to be quite honest with you.
RJ Harvey, so 5'9" or 208, ran a 4.4. I've seen some question his vision a bit. The interesting thing I saw was that he might need to change who he is just because the edge speed's much different in the NFL than it is in college. And he likes just to bounce runs outside a little too much when he should just take the yards. Really fast processing speed when making decisions, really quick, got good twitch, very impressive burst. 54 out of his 234 runs went for 10 plus yards. So good big playability. 94 percentile in missed tackles per attempt, 99 percentile in missed tackles per reception. So he's good at catching the ball and quickly adjusting as a runner. Track and dual threat quarterback in high school, played baseball and basketball, and an honor roll student. I just think he would give us that big play threat we want, costing a lot less than someone like Travion Henderson would. So that was I still want that in my running back. Let's not invest a top 2 round pick in it.
Yeah, and to point to MJD, I keep mentioning his list. He actually has RJ Harvey at number 6 overall in the running back class. This might be a surprise to some of you, but Harvey's versatility and potential at the next level ranks him above guys like Marion Hampton, whom I'll get to in a second. The UCF prospect earns yards after contact by making defenders miss in a phone booth, and his ability to catch out of the backfield makes him a viable 3-down back in the NFL. So, big fan.
I mean, look at that. 20 catches for 267. It's really good. 19 for 238. He turns them.
Oh, he's legit. Yeah, and I like RJ Harvey a lot. Look at his numbers. He's very kind of reminds me of Doug Martin a little bit.
See if I have a player comp on him.
And Doug Martin coming out of college was awesome. The muscle hamster, everyone loved him. Obviously, his career went kind of kaput really fast. However, he had a couple years surge in the NFL. So yeah, I wouldn't mind RJ Harvey at all. I will say, he's a good he's a good running back as far as he gives you the explosion. As obviously see his longest run was 80-yard run the year before, the 92 yards, and on top of that, you can be kind of a 3rd down back with him. So he kind of gives you a little bit of everything, which I'm gonna be curious to see where he goes because his kind of rating is rounds 3 rounds 6. Is that kind of where a lot of people have him slated because he can be?
I would say, man, that's the thing. Guys love it; they love it. I'd say 4 to 5. Be my guess.
Yeah, the thing that I love him more than for example Devin Neal. I like RJ Harvey more than Devin Neal. RJ Harvey, he's
got more juice.
He got more juice. Got the numbers, and also too he can be the full time guy. As MJD says here, 3-down back.
Yeah,
he can be that. So it's Devin Neal, you need another guy with him to kind of partner with him. Even Travion Henderson, you need another guy to partner with him. You don't really need it with a guy like that. Yeah, you can get the veteran guy off the street to give you some spelling every here and there, but this guy is kind of it, full package. You're getting him late, so good value pick if the Chiefs wait on him.
So player comps, shades of Austin Eckler, Keaton Mitchell, fun-sized Tyrone Tracy, and Achan.
You know, gosh, really? Achan's so slight.
I know. Probably just because of the big play.
Yeah, I mean that kind of bodes well for him, right? Because he has the big playability and he's also pretty stout. I mean, he's well built, dude. This isn't like a
5'8", 205 is not small.
Hey, and the Giants, I will say this: I know everyone wants to knock them for the whole Saquon Barkley thing, but they look like they found a guy in Tyrone Tracy for them to be the guy over there. So not bad.
Yeah, and 4.4 speeds. It's fast.
For
the other guy probably did himself a lot of favors too. He probably climbed the charts now. That's why I said, like the mock draft I was watching with the dudes from Stock Exchange, NFL Stock Exchange, they were starting to bring him up when it was getting to the late third. Not take him yet, but he's in conversations, but probably the fourth round, I'd say.
Yeah, 4.4, man. That's 4.4 for a guy's 5'8", 205. It's no joke at all. And UCF too. I know back in the day was the everyone used to dog him for the low level of competition. No, UCF's the real deal, man. I mean, they're playing against good programs, and they actually had a good year last year. And nonetheless, I'll say this too: they had a kind of a quarterback.
Again.
What's that?
Chase Brown again.
Yeah, it's a good comp. And I'll say this about him as well. RJ Harvey. They kind of had a QB carousel last year, and the fact that like he still put up these numbers with the kind of the QB carousel that they had, tells you a lot about the running back that he is. Forget about being the Big 12 and whatever exists of it now, but like being on a team that has really shitty quarterback play or has lack of a quarterback, it's tough to be a running back in that kind of system. And yet he's still producing 1,500 yards, almost 7 yards a carry, 22 touchdowns rushing. So. This is probably one of my sneaky guys. As I delve into more research on him, big fan. I like RJ Harvey a lot.
ATN too, but he's just so much more. Dude, he's well built. His legs are massive. Watch him run his 40 time. I mean, dude, no wonder MJD likes him.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, look at that VMO muscle right there. It's a beauty. Look at that thing,
dude.
Yeah,
no joke.
Yeah, I would definitely be all on board for this move if we were to get RJ Harvey from UCF. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.